What is up YouTube? It's your boy SmackNPie here after a depressing viewing session of TLOU finale. I'm here talking about season 2 like I have the energy. So the creators, Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann, after dropping that bombshell of finale, they came forth with some new details, and our good friend here, Doom the Boom, have compiled all the details that you guys need to know regarding TLOU season 2. First things first, Ellie's returning, of course, as First things first, Bella Ramsey's returning as Ellie. Like, why was that ever questioned? I don't know. Number 2, most importantly, part 2 story will be covered in more than one seasons. So not only, like, this has been known by a lot of us big fans, but the general audience need to know that it has been confirmed that it'll be more than one. They are not saying how many seasons it'll take, they're just saying more than one. It could take 2 seasons, could be, go for 3 seasons if they stretch it, but I can see this being a 2-season story. They said that they're working on the story with, of course, like Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann, but they're working on the story with Bella herself, because she is like the main character of the game, part 2, and the story is about her. It moves from Joel to Ellie, so it is important for her to be involved in the decisions related to season 2, related to where her story is gonna go. Of course, we don't know how they're gonna tackle it, how the storytelling of Abby is gonna come into play in season 2 of the show. That just wanted to put it out there. Now, one of the criticisms that the show get is the reduction and the reluctance of using infected. That grammatically made no sense. But not using infected that much. Personally, for me, like I've said in previous videos, Last of Us was never about infected. For me personally, it was always about the relationship, which is why even the part 2 doesn't, it has a lot more infected than part 1, but still the core story, the core attraction is the relationships and, how they deal with each other. Anyways, there will be a lot more infected, different kinds of infected. Neil confirmed it, which was answered about the question related to the criticism of not having much infected. Now, a couple of weeks ago, Pedro Pascal himself revealed that the season 2 filming could start as early as later this year. See, personally, I was thinking, they're just gonna sit on it, it's not gonna start that, but it actually makes sense if they start picking it up later this year. They have a lot of time to write the story so they can start filming in winter coming this year, so we can have the release date of 2024, which I'm really hoping. I know it's unlikely, but when they started filming, I've mapped out a timeline. When they started off filming, whilst they were filming, it took them a year and a half, a little bit over a year and a half, to start the filming and premiere the first episode. So a year and a half. If they follow the same structure of 8 to 10 episodes per season, I can see it being a 10-episode season. Yeah, it's very likely 2025, now that I think about it. One other element, Neil Druckmann said that if they were to make part 3, which they are, by the way, don't be fooled, he said that I'll take elements from the show and add it to the game part 3, because now, they know that the show will adapt part 3 when they do that, so they can already plant that stuff, make it easier for the show to adapt part 3 when they get there. But that's part 3. We're talking about part 2. Now, Craig Mazin, he himself talked about Seraphites. Again, some of you might not know this, but one of the most intriguing factions in the Last of Us universe is Seraphites for me personally, and he said that they will be explored big time. They have to. Spoilers alert, but the war between wolves and Seraphites was so interesting. However, because of my vengeance and my thirst for revenge blinded me from enjoying any other part of the game. Because if you go in unbiased, the war between the two factions, fantastic. So that's gonna be explored, of course, the wolves and Jacksons and all that nasty stuff. My favorite portion of this whole thing was relationship exploration post season 1 ending between Joel and Ellie. That's all I care about. Give me that birthday whole scenario in one episode. Just one episode. The whole episode needs to be dedicated to Joel and Ellie. That flashback. That's it. I don't care. I just need that. Now, of course, she will be far more violent. Her bubbly personality's gone. The main question here is, how are they going to tackle both Ellie and Abby's perspectives? Because they are saying that the show is going to be completely different. Well, not completely different, but the show is going to be different from the games, like in a lot of ways. I remember Craig Mazin said a while ago that the part 2 story is difficult to adapt one-to-one to the TV show, So they're gonna have to make major changes in terms of how the story is portrayed on the screen. This is me TLDRing, these are not his exact words. Jerry got, freaking skull bullet to the head, and that the shot of Jerry symbolized perfectly what's gonna happen in season 2. So it's gonna be really important how they're gonna prolong that scene, how they're gonna prolong the big event. Personally for me, they can prolong it at the end of season 2. Instead of going back and forth between the flashbacks and perspectives of Allie and Abby, they can do it in chronological order. Literally, go from episode to episode, building up these characters. Before I leave you guys, there might be a glimmer of hope. If you watch the making of The Last of Us, a lot of things that they added into the show, they said that it was in the original script and all that nasty stuff. If you look at the original plot for The Last of Us Part 2, what Abby did, how Abby character was written, basically, Abby would learn about the Joel settlement, Tommy and Joel settlement, and she would find out Joel is living and all that. She wouldn't go on a killing spree this quick. She would plan her infiltration. She would get close to Joel romantically. Okay, maybe romantically was never, said, but she would get close. If you look at the concept arts, there are concept arts. Like Abby and Joel are like ridiculously close. Like, this ain't no father-daughter relationship. And then she would get him into seclusion, and then she would do the deed. Not the deed that you're thinking of, but the deed of actually starting to torture. That torture would be far brutal because Joel would never see it coming. As opposed to, he still didn't see it coming, but, expectedly, these people are new, we don't know them. Okay, they are on a killing spree, they want to kill me. But infiltrating, earning the trust of the community, specifically Joel, getting close to Joel, specifically getting to know him as a person, imagine the show is literally begging for that approach specifically. If you can make Abby human, this is the only way to do it. Make her feel like 1,000 emotions as she, executes her plan to seclude Joel from everyone and then kill him. Or at least try to, and then torture and then kill him. I feel like we can explore Joel's other side, the side that we never got to see in the games. Joel's wife. Maybe we could get flashback towards that. There is so many possibilities. I believe in Craig Mazin. I know he'll do right. And I know for a fact that they've took the concepts from the game that were not part of the game, but were part of the original script, and they added to the show. Please do that here. We'll have more season 2 videos as we move along, but this is all you need to know regarding TLOU season 2. Joel. Excuse me for more. I'll see you in the next one.